Are kidnappings on the rise in Quezon City? 2 weeks ago, a young man and his girlfriend disappeared, seen for the last time near a busy Quezon City street at 7:30 in the evening. Witnesses say armed men forced them into a car and sped away. Was this an isolated case of kidnapping? Friends and family of the victims think not. They believe this was just one of a string of kidnappings to hit the area in the last month.
25-year-old Cochise Bernabe and his 20-year-old girlfriend Bibam Castaños, two young people with promising lives ahead of them. They are the most recent kidnap victims in Quezon City. Last April 25, they parked their car in front of Dairitz Hamburger House, a popular restaurant along Timog Circle. What happened next is a little sketchy. So far, only 2 witnesses have come out to describe the event. Mrs. Rosaline Bernabe, Cochise's mother, was able to talk to a few of the many people who saw the abduction.
Well, according to the witnesses, as soon as my son alighted from the car, 2 armed men went to him and said, "Pulis kami, pulis kami." The witnesses did not tell us kung merong ang badge or what, pero pulis kami, pulis kami. Meron kang warrant of arrest. So my son said, "Anong warrant of arrest? Wala akong asunto. Anong maging for murder eh? For murder, sinabi. So what they did, ginanon what they did, the head of my son, they bumped it on the stool, tapos pinosasan siya.
Cochise was then shoved into his own car, a green 1985 Lancer, soon to be followed by Bibam seconds later. The 2 were taken away and have not been seen since. A kidnapping on a busy street early in the evening. From all accounts, Cochise and Bibam's abductors did their deed with impunity, arrogance almost. Does that point to a rising wave of kidnappings here? Law enforcement officials say no, it doesn't.
Hindi natin masasabing lumalaganap yan.
Brigadier General Edgar Dula Torres has been the Northern Police District Superintendent for the last 2 years. He is heading the NPD's investigation into the kidnapping.
Sa record namin, yung mga nagrereklamo rito, sa loob ng 2 taon on the record 3.
Over at the Anti-Organized Crime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, the mood is the same. Kidnappings are not on the rise. This latest kidnapping was the first one referred to it the entire year. Indeed, kidnappings are few and far between in official police records. But officials like NBI Assistant Director Efimaco Velasco admit quite a few cases go unreported.
Well, the NBI can only respond to this if the public, if the victims will cooperate by reporting to us incidents like this. Because we cannot do anything else except by the cooperation of the victims. Because in the past, some of the victims do not complain.
Natatakot sila sa magiging kalalagyan ng kanilang security. There is some sort of danger to the person, but not necessarily a grave danger. No? Namamagnify lang yan siyempre ng testigo eh. Akala niya papabayaan siya ng otoridad.
Friends and family of the victims have discovered 2 other recent kidnappings on their own, both of them occurring quite near the place Cochise and Bibam were taken from. One apparently took place at the Birdland Jazz Club, just a few yards away from Dairitz Hamburger House across Timog Circle. Robert Quintos, one of Cochise's fraternity brothers, stumbled onto this piece of information talking to one of Birdland's technicians a few days after the kidnapping.
And he recounted to us a past incident involving one of their musicians who was apparently arrested. They said for drug use.
The musician apparently disappeared for a couple of days, about 2 weeks before Cochise and Bibam were kidnapped. Quintos was told extortion was behind the Birdland arrest.
The people who were abducted were said to have paid off their captors some substantial amount of money.
How much?
Well, they say it ranges from 10,000 to 20,000 pesos.
Neither the Quezon City Police nor the NPD have any record of such an arrest. But since the information surfaced, officials have acknowledged that Cochise and Bibam's kidnapping may not have been isolated. Attorney Santiago Toledo of the NBI.
We learned from sources that there was another kidnapping, and then it resulted in the extortion of certain amount. It may have some relation to the Bernabé case, meaning that the people involved in that case most probably could be the same, but we are not yet sure about that.
The Bernabé family has also received information that a kidnapping took place at the Jollibee restaurant on Quezon Boulevard, just a few miles from Dairitz. This time, a couple was supposedly abducted on April 13 and then held for a couple of days. Law enforcement authorities have yet to confirm this. Police officials in Quezon City admit they don't have as many policemen patrolling the streets as they'd like to. Ideally, they say, there should be one policeman for every 500 persons. Today, the ratio is about 1 to 1,000. Still, they say they usually nip crime in the bud.
We assure the public that, yun nga, paminsan-minsan may nagkakataong gano'n na hindi natitsyempuan. Pero mas madalas po yung natitsyempuan kaysa sa ano. We manage to contain crime occurrence in this, in our, within tolerable limits, and that is about 14 crime per month per 100,000 population. Well, below the world standard of 30 index crime per month per 100,000 population.
When kidnappings do occur, it is often difficult to track the kidnappers down. The reason, most witnesses don't want to talk. In this case, many who saw the kidnapping went away or pretended not to know.
Diba ikaw, duty ka noon nung araw na yun?
Galing ako sa kabila eh. Ka-duty ko lang eh.
Ha?
Galing ako sa kabila eh.
Hindi ka nag-duty noon?
Hindi.
The NBI has managed to get the testimonies of 2 people. Based on that, they have come up with composite sketches of 2 of the kidnappers. Still, details remain sketchy and leads few. NBI agents are currently investigating the possibility of police or military involvement.
They identified themselves as policemen, and they were actually armed with armalite, long firearms, which invariably are carried by police officers or members of the armed forces. Merong mga cases talaga na nahawakan kami na ang kasangkot mga police or military people.
Usually, ano po yung modus operandi ng mga opisyal na yan?
Sini-check nila yung mga tao kung may pera, at surveillance din sila, and then kung alam na nila yung movement ng victim nila, that will be the time that they will seize the victim and keep them, and then ask for a ransom.
Interestingly, the kidnappers have not asked for any money. In the Birdland and Jollibee cases, a ransom was allegedly made on the first day, and the victims freed after a couple of days. In this case, it's been over 2 weeks, and still no talk of ransom. One angle investigators are also looking into is the business angle, a double cross or a sour deal, perhaps. Cochise ran this small printing press in Pasay. His mother feels talk of a double cross is far-fetched.
Impossible eh. Kasi the printing press of my son is less than a year. He only opened up September something last year. And people can go all over the all the job orders that he has. He did not have any dealing with any big companies. Most of his clientele are from the different colleges of the UP. So I really don't know of any double cross.
Other rumors are starting to spread, especially in the UP campus, where Cochise was a law student and Bibam a mass communications major. Some speculate that Cochise planned the whole thing himself because of academic problems at the law school. Others say the kidnapping may be the work of enemies of Cochise's father Ernesto, who was a Pasay City fiscal up to August 1986. Investigators are looking into these angles, although right now they seem unrealistic. Still, another theory is that the 2 were victims of personal enemies, although most who know them say they had no enemies.
Alam ko marami silang kaibigan. I couldn't even think of anyone na galit sa daughter ko. I really don't know any reason why they should do this to my daughter, even to Cochise. I don't know of any people or any person na may galit talaga sa kanila.
So why were Cochise and Bibam kidnapped? We may not know for a while. Were they victims of isolated circumstance or a more widespread phenomenon? We may never know either, with the dozens of cases that go unreported. One thing's clear in tragedies like this, for victims and their families, not knowing is the hardest part of the ordeal.
Nagmamakaawa ho kami sa inyong mag-asawa na kung pwede ibalik na lang ho nyo sa amin ang mga bata. Ibalik lang ho nyo sapagkat siguro naman ho, mga magulang din ho kayo. Ibalik na lang ho nyo sa amin, kunin na lang ho nyo lahat ng ibang bagay, pero ipakibalik na lang ho nyo sa amin. At tatanggapin ho namin na wala ho kami, no questions asked. We just want the children back safe and sound.